What is going on, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. Happy Friday. We made it. Great weekend of sports coming up. NFL football Saturday, Sunday rolls into the national championship on Monday. Hockey all 3 days. I mean, Franco, you can't ask for really much a better weekend than this.
My question is, are you sweating?
I am so nervous for this game. It's not even funny. I don't think the Bills stand a chance this week.
Really?
I think
Really?
yeah, no, I'm pretty down in the dumps about this team. I don't think we're gonna win against Baltimore. I think our run defense is just too poor to kind of combat their offense, but you play the game for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it has consumed my whole week of just this looming cloud of dread, of
Terror.
anxiety, of terror, whatever synonyms you want to use with nervous and scared. You can put those in that pot. Yeah, no, I'm not overly excited about this game. And then tonight, the Sabres play too, which is really just a nice little start of the weekend of.
They're here to prep you for
they're here to, like, if you want, we're going to start with disappointment early and often in Buffalo this week, it seems like, with just the Sabres tonight and then parlaying that into the Bills. So can't wait.
You're saying Sabres money line and Bills money line parlay.
I'm not saying that at all, actually. This is not a one Buffalo weekend. I don't have a great feeling about it. But, I mean, those are what? They're both – the Sabres are favorites tonight, which we can get to in a second. But, yeah, I mean, I think the Bills are about even money and the Sabres minus 130. So maybe I'll sprinkle on that, actually, a little one Buffalo parlay. So I'll
Just
add the Bandits in there too. Yeah, why not? All right. Let's get to the first game on the slate, though. Enough talk about Buffalo. So Vegas at Carolina. Carolina minus 155 on the money line. Vegas plus 130. Total set at 5.5. Another 5.5. Minus 130. These teams matched up earlier this season with Carolina winning 5-2 back in November. Vegas is 11-6-3 on the road. Carolina at 9-11-2. Away as well, but they've been much better at home. Carolina is 17-5-1 at home. So both these teams, you kind of have Carolina being a better home team, Vegas being a better home team as well, which I think bodes into Carolina being on minus 150. Carolina 0-2 though in their last two. Vegas 1-3 in their last four. So Cap, I have to do it. I know I do. I'll see if the Bandits are playing this weekend, so maybe I'll just make it a full one Buffalo parlay here. But Franco, a decent number of props in this game. The issue is I don't think it lines up for shots because both Carolina and Vegas are extremely stingy against them. So you're almost looking at points pieces, but what do you have in this one?
So I don't know if you remember, but Vegas started out terrible on the road.
Yes.
Like terrible. I think they were like 0-5, 0-6, something like that. I believe now their road record is, what was it? I don't have it in front of me. But
Vegas is 11-6-3 on the road.
So before they lost that game against Nashville, they've won 11 in a row on the road. Okay. So I know, on the surface, you look at the number and you're like, okay, like they're all right on the road. They're not that great. But like in reality, they've been a lot better. They've really kind of fixed that. Obviously, they lost to Nashville, but, it kind of is what it is. I think there's a ton of value on Vegas here on the money line. I get it. Carolina's coming home. 2 bad losses for them, so they're going to want to come out and play better. So I could understand the argument for Carolina. It's just not this price. Minus 155 just feels too short for me, or too big of a number for Carolina, who's been really inconsistent overall. And like I said, a Vegas team that's also coming off a loss. So it's not like, Vegas is feeling great coming in this game either. So I think if you're going to take a side here, I think you have to take Vegas. I mean, maybe you do Carolina and reg if you do like Carolina, but to me, I think all the values on Vegas here for a side.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you're getting a pretty decent price here, and it's not like Carolina has been this world beat the last two games. I think they lost to Buffalo 2 nights ago, and then they lost to um,
The
Anaheim, I
Ducks.
believe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
which not
Brutal.
exactly stellar teams that
Yeah. So like
you
I could
lost
see
to.
the argument. That's
So,
why I said I could see the argument for
yeah,
them wanting, like Brendan Moore's probably pissed right now, and I can imagine they want to get right, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to walk in this game and just smash Vegas. I mean, this is not exactly the easiest matchup to come into.
yeah, I know I fully agree with you on that one. There is a few props that jump out here. I mean, Nature's shots on goal, right? It was his birthday the other night. He's hit in each of his last five, I think 5 of 5 overall versus Vegas. But again, looking at the splits on shot props, I think Vegas has been extremely stingy in their last 10 against shots. I'm pulling it up now, but again, I just don't feel like there's any value on any shot props today. Like I mentioned before, yeah, Vegas. Yeah, no. Do you have any props in this one? I mean, Hurdle point looks decent. Jarvis point looks decent. Olafson point. Any of those that you're on tonight?
Okay, so let's start here.
All right.
Dorofeyev, if you look at his home road split, so most of the Vegas guys, if you look like Carlson, for example, has been really good at his 1.5 line, and it's bettable today. But you go home road and it doesn't look as good. His home has been awesome. So when they get back home, like if I can get that at a bettable number, I'm smashing it automatically, right?
Okay.
You look at Eichel as well. He's been shooting more, and he's down to the 2.5 line, not the 3.5 line anymore, like we expected him last year. But again, flip it between home road, and it's night and day. I mean, he's 80% home, 50% on the road. But Dorofeyev is who I want to target here tonight. You're getting a plus
shots?
number, yes,
Okay.
for everything. To be honest with
Okay.
you, I mean, he's been red hot. But if you look at his home road splits, he's the opposite of everybody else. 50% at home, 90% his last 10 on the road, and he's hitting four shots. His attempts aren't super high, but he's hitting the net. He's not the 8 shot attempts with only 3 on net type of guy. He's been 5 attempts with 4 on net in multiple games recently on the road. And just overall his form, if you just get rid of the home road splits, he's hit in 6 out of his last 7. So a couple 5s and a 4 in there as well. So again, volume's not great as far as that goes, but he's feeling it. Playing on the top power play unit as well. They're keeping him up there, which is good for him. And he's also has 5 goals in his last 2 games. He had a hat trick 2 games back and 2 in his last one. So he's feeling it. I don't expect him to stop shooting. With that being said, and given the fact that we see that a guy like Eichel, who's on that top power play, isn't shooting on the road, that just feeds into it as well. So I think there's a ton of value on his goal. Like I said, 5 goals in his last 2. Looks really good. And his point prop is plus money as well. So all these bets are plus money, which is just fantastic on a guy that is just kind of starting a heater after, goal and point wise had been kind of cool recently.
Yep. Yeah, I don't mind that. So the issue is Carolina in their last 10 games ranks 29th in shots on goal against for forwards, 30th for shots on goal against to defensemen. Vegas in their last 10, average of 3.9 shots on goal for defensemen against them. So any defensive props on Carolina's side, I am out on. But against forwards, Vegas has allowed the 13th most shots on goal to forwards. Cap brought up Aho. Aho at that 3+ mark is hit in 7 of his last 9 home games. I don't mind that at all. Ghosty, I mean, that was the issue too. He's hitting 4 of his last 5 home games. But again, Vegas has been so stingy to defensemen. So that prop has kind of been out the window. Any thoughts on any players on Carolina's side, or are you just sticking with that Dorofeyev 3+ shots on goal?
Besides that, I don't really necessarily love Carolina props. I wouldn't mind doing going back to the well, like a Jarvis Aho point parlay. I think you get a decent price on that. but I'm actually going to be stacking point props on the Vegas side. So Stone and Eichel together is -105. I think that's ridiculous to get each of them for a point. They're obviously top power play, top line correlated, so that's nice. And then the one I really like as well, based on the value, is Hurdle and Dorofeyev point parlayed together. That's plus 275, and they're correlated. So second line correlated and top power play correlated. So I just think there's a ton of value. Again, Carolina's not necessarily like the best target for goals and all that fun stuff, but in a game, I think Vegas has a chance to win, like I said, and I kind of like the over in this game a little bit, to be honest with you. But I think there's value here. Getting Eichel and Stone at a point at -105 is just stupid to me. I feel like that's an auto bet. It doesn't matter who they're playing against. And then getting those other two at plus 280 feels really good. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of fun with that. I did run a bigger parlay with Dorofeyev and Hurdle with two guys in the next game, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I think there's just good value here if you can stack these guys and find that correlation with the power plays. Did I lose you, Gator?
Yep, I think you did. Back now though.
All right, there we go.
All right, sorry about that.
Well, hopefully everybody heard what I just said. But yeah, the main gist of it is I want those 2 point parlays on the Vegas side. Dorofeyev and Hurdle, and then Eichel and Stone. Feels really good. And I don't mind the Jarvis Aho one as well.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that Aho at 3+, I do like that. But honestly, tonight in this game, there's certain looks, but I'm just probably not going to force anything. So I think this game is Yeah,
I think there's going to be. I think it should be a good game.
Perfect.
Do you have any interest in Brent Burns? 14 shots on goal in his last 2 games.
So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So 11 attempts against Buffalo, 8 shots on goal, 12 shot attempts, 6 shots on goal against Anaheim. He's never hit this mark against Vegas for whatever reason. But again, going back to what I said before, Vegas has only given up an average of 3.9 shots on goal per game in their last 10 to defensemen. So
yeah, not the best target.
He's the best
he's
target.
Just firing and doesn't give a shit right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who they play next. I'll have to pull it up, but maybe there's a better matchup coming up for them. And if he continues to hit even next game, start to target him there. But I don't think tonight's necessarily the target. Who does Carolina play next? Chicago. There you go. Brent Burns versus Chicago. There's your
ladder him up to 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any other plays in this one? I have a bunch that I kind of want to go through in Pittsburgh and Buffalo and kind of talk out.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. But I mean, that's why I like Dorofeyev. I mean, in no other situation would you want to target Dorofeyev, given what this matchup is. But I think there could be shots here, regardless.
But again, we've seen weird stuff happen with these small game slates necessarily. Where I mean, personally, I've been caught in a trap of trying to force 2 or 3 plays in each game of trying to kind of build a full card out, and have just been burned completely. So I agree, but I don't mind that look at all. So if you like anything in this game, like, don't let me talk you out of it. Pavel with 6 points his last 2 games is crazy. Yep, Franco, you're on his point or shots tonight.
All shots, goal, and point, and then like I said, I'm probably going to run that point with Hurdle as well as a straight, as a parlay. But
yeah. Hurdle 4 of his last 5 and 6 of his last 10, so don't mind that either. All right. Next game up here, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins traveling to Buffalo to take on the Sabres. The Sabres are minus 130 tonight. Pittsburgh plus 110. Pittsburgh 6-10-5 on the road this season. Buffalo 9-11-3 at home. Some crazy home splits for the Penguins. Like I mentioned, 6-10-5 on the road, 12-10-3 at home. Pittsburgh is 0-3 in their last three. I think they've only won 2 of their last 10. Yeah, right. 2 of their last 10, I'm pretty sure. Buffalo 6-3-1 of their last 10, have won 3 of their last 4. There is a ton of great matchup history in this one, specifically starting off with Crosby. His point, his shots, his point isn't bettable straight, but I think it's a great place to start if you're looking to kind of build a same game parlay in this one. Alex Tuck is also another option in this one. I know he got bumped down. He started at the 2.5 mark this season, bumped down to that 1.5 mark, has hit in each of his last 4 games. But in 3 of those 4, he went over that 2.5 mark, and you're getting his 3+ shots tonight. I think at plus 170.
That's wild.
So I don't mind that. I mean, his attempts have been crazy: 7, 6, 4, and 8. And if you look at the shots on goal on DraftKings, 3+ tonight for Alex Tuck is plus 170 against a Pittsburgh team who's been leaky to forwards.
I like that a lot. I was looking at him for 2. Just I feel like that's the ultimate parlay piece tonight. If you if you have another leg that you want. But 3 at that price feels really nice.
Yeah. I mean, the other guys, too, you can look at on this team for shots. We'll just start there. Peterka's hasn't been great recently, but against Pittsburgh, he's hitting 5 of his last 6. Better at home this season, I think. So even his point looks bettable. Tage over 2.5, maybe another parlay piece. He hit in 5 straight, missed last game against Carolina, had 1 shot on 8 attempts. So it's not like he's not
Tage's
firing.
home road kind of scares me a little bit.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's Tage. So
at home, he's hitting 63.6% of that 2.5 mark. On the road, he's hitting 35.3%. So, I mean, it's lends you more towards the home here if you want to do Tage at 2.5, Tuck at 1.5. I don't think that's necessarily a bad look either.
Yeah, I think you could go there. I don't, like you said, I like Zucker too. I don't mind him.
I was gonna say Jason Zucker revenge game.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely someone I'm interested in, as you may know.
Specifically his point, I think, right?
Yes.
I'm not so much his shots, but his point tonight for sure. I do like that point. Where are we getting that at?
Minus 125, it looks like.
Yeah, minus 130, minus 125 we got.
He's another one, like,
minus
I don't mind grabbing him and Tage for a point together. What's that? I mean, what's that going to run you? I feel like that's going to be a nice price too, because Tage isn't too bad. That's
Tage
plus 154.
Yeah.
If you put them together. Again, same idea. I mean, if Zucker scores or gets a point, like, you figure Tage is going to be involved with it, right?
Yeah, I don't see this being a low-scoring affair.
No, I agree.
I think this. I mean, because you look at the top line now, Zucker, McLeod, and Thompson. And Zucker's on that first power play unit with Tage as well. So there's 2 different opportunities right there to stack their point.
Yep. I do like that a lot. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. No reason to really fade it. I like that. I kind of want to target your guys' second line as well. That's the second leg of that lay I ran with Dorofeyev and Hurdle. It's Cousins and Tuck for a point. Them 2 together plus 280. The only reason is that the same thing as power play correlation. So Peterka's on the top power play, Cousins and Tucker together on the second power play unit. So That's all I'm looking at. Just to make sure there's more opportunities for them to be linked, because that'd be annoying as hell if you had Peterka and Cousins, and Peterka scores on the power play or something like that, and you're just annoyed, or vice versa. Cousins gets one on the power play and Peterka's not involved. So at plus 280, again, I feel like that's just a ridiculous price to me. And I feel like that line's just as likely to score as the first line is, to be honest with you.
You're also going to get better price on Dylan Cousins, right? At plus 115 for a point. Paterka's at minus 135. So, yeah, if you are going to do a stack, I like that correlation. So there's so many props. Raquel Gold tonight. So Raquel has a point in 4 of his last 5 games against Buffalo. He scored 2 against Tampa the other night. He's had a goal in 4 of his last 6. Missed against Seattle and Ottawa during that span. But again, he's shooting a ton too. 6 shots against Seattle, 6 shots against Tampa Bay. His point looks great. His shots look great against Buffalo. So,
yep, he looks good. I agree with that one. I like Bunting as well as the other guy I've circled for Pittsburgh. He's on that top power play unit, which is a nice boost. His point's been hot. I know he's pointless in 2 straight, but you can get his point at plus 124, which I think is just ridiculous given his recent form. And again, I think we see goals here both ways. I would not want to have any money on a side. Let's put it that way. So let's just root for a lot of goals either way.
McLeod goal plus 450. He's coming off a hat trick against Carolina. His first career one. Plus 450 tonight. 2 straight at home versus Pitt. I don't mind that as well. I mean, he got bumped up to that top line with Zucker and Thompson. So I think that's probably a great bet as well. You can't bet his point, which sucks, but I don't mind it at plus 450 as well. I know we got a bunch of guys. Yeah. I like it a lot.
A lot of people like McLeod goals, so I agree. I think the value's there. You take anybody that's on the first line, you're getting like plus 400 or better. I feel like it's just an auto bet. There's no reason not to have it on your card just for a sprinkle, and hope they get there, especially given his recent.
Evgeny Malkin point is plus money tonight.
Yeah, plus I saw his history. 110. Ridiculous.
7 in his last 10 overall he's hit. Against Buffalo, he's hit in 6 of his last 7 games. On the road, that's the issue, is his home and away splits, right? This season, he's covered this mark on the road at a 47.6% rate. At home, oh, never mind. I take back what I said. Same home and away splits. So Malkin point at plus 110, I like that bet as well.
I would say
value there.
There's an added boost to it as well. If you think about what happened with him the other day, his home got broken into and a bunch of shit was stolen. So,
but they found the rings in his home.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But regardless, I could see him playing pissed today after that, So, and this is a team he historically owns, so that's just added boost to it. If you look at his history against them too, he's had a lot of multi-point games. Only 2 out of the 8 were not multi-point games. Obviously had to miss in there too.
2-1, 2-2. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to get a little saucy, I don't mind going up to 2 as well. If you feel
but even at 1, you're getting plus money. I don't mind that at all either.
I agree.
Yeah, Malkin point at plus 110 is going to be on there. Zucker point at plus or minus 130 is on there, and then probably going to sprinkle Tuck 3+ shots on goal. So those are my 3 looks in this one. Crosby shots. Did you look at that?
I mean, I could see it. I feel like I have a lot on this game already in my mind. So I don't feel a need to go there.
Like, you're going down the board here, right? Malkin, over 1.5 shots on goal. Insane. Hitting each of his last 6 games against Buffalo, but he's missed in 5 straight. Chris Letang hitting 4-4 versus Buffalo. Cousins hitting 6 of 7 versus Pittsburgh. Peterka hitting 5 of 6 versus Pittsburgh. Thompson, 4 of 5 against Pittsburgh. Dahlin, 11 of his last 14 home games. That's the guy who I also wanted to talk about too. Dahlin shots at 2.5 tonight. He's been inconsistent overall against Pittsburgh. He's hitting 4 of 7, But at home, he's hitting in 11 of 14. In their last 10 games, Pittsburgh allows the 4th most shots on goal to defensemen.
That's a good look. I like it. Plus, he's coming off a game where he missed against Carolina. I mean, he missed against Carolina and Washington. Those are two like relatively stingy teams to shots. So I don't see why you wouldn't go to it. Plus money looks great.
Yep. Fuck it. Add it to the card. 4 picks in this game then.
I don't even know how many I have now at this point.
Yeah. Pizza money on Malkin 2 points plus McLeod goal play. Love it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's 3-1.
Malkin power play
point. All right. Let's pull this up.
Yeah.
This could be a full car, like this 2-game slate, and I have 6 picks in this Buffalo game. It's insane. So Malkin power play point is hitting 6 of his last 7 games against Buffalo. Overall, he's hitting 2 of his last 5.
My only issue is he's on the second power play unit. It's my only issue with it.
Yeah. I mean, if you like his point tonight, maybe you sprinkle on the power play point as well. You do like your full unit on that plus 110 point and then kind of go up from there to the 360 mark for a power play point. But I'd feel much more comfortable just taking a plus money prop that's been great recently, great head-to-head, home and away splits, the exact same, and you get a Buffalo team that's been pretty leaky, 2 goals. So that's how I would approach it, but I'm not necessarily saying stay off power play point by any means.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I feel like I'm going to have way too many plays in this game.
Yeah, I already have 4. Any other picks in this one? I mean, every prop kind of pops in this. You could make an argument for whoever you want. And of course, we're going to get tonight is going to be like a 2-1 game. We're going to get a 2-1 game, and we're going to get fucked on this one. I know for a fact it's going to happen.
I don't know though. I mean, I guess who comes off the top power play unit though? I could have sworn previously he was on the second power play unit because Bunting has been on the top PP unit for a while now at this point, unless that was always with Malkin out. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to go back and look at game logs and shit. But
yeah,
to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something there. I just don't see who comes off the top power play.
No. Any other props or picks in this one? I feel like we just put a full card together.
Adam's got the right idea. Take Grizzly off. Let's go 5 forwards.
That's good.
No, I think we're good. I think there's plenty to like here. Pick your poison. I'm going to try my best not to have like 10 plays on this game.
So you have a play in the first one, Dorfeyev point, right? Or Dorfeyev shots.
Shots at 3, I like a lot. And then I think for his point, I'm not going to just play it straight. I'm going to parlay him with Hurdle at plus 280. And then his goal for a sprinkle at plus 320-ish.
All right, so Dorfeyev at 3+ is plus 125. Do you want to add Tuck in there? Is at 3?
Ooh, that would be pretty good.
So Dorfeyev and Tuck plus 507 for 3+ tonight.
Yeah, let's run that.
You want to run that as our parlay?
Yeah, nice and easy.
I like that too. All right, I will post that graphic in a bit. Do you want to just recap your card quickly, just while we have everyone here?
Yeah, let's do it. So Vegas, Carolina. I like Dorfeyev goal at plus 320. That's going to be a smaller play, obviously. Goal props are always a little bit less. I'm going to get a little greedy. I don't mind taking his point prop straight, but I'm going to get greedy with it and take him with Hurdle. Do the correlation between the two. That's plus 280, plus 270, whatever. I'll also take his 3+ shots at plus 130 or whatever it is. And I don't mind taking Aho and Jarvis for a point as well. I believe that's around even money. Eichel and Stone point parlay as well, minus 105. In that Buffalo-Pittsburgh game, here comes 1,000 plays. Let's just do Zucker point with Tage point. I don't know what that comes out to. I got to run it. I think it was like plus 150 ish. I also like that second line stack with Cousins and Tuck at plus 280 for a point. I think I'm going to hop on the Dahlin shots at 3, and that's plus money as well. And probably the Tuck at plus 170 for 3. Yep. I like Bunting point as well, plus 126. Malkin point at plus 100, and then Malkin 2 points for a little sprinkle at plus whatever the hell that's going to be.
Yeah.
Way too many fucking plays. Sorry. Pick what you like. You don't have to take them all. That's what I do. I'm sorry.
All right. I have 4 plays, none in this Carolina Vegas game. I do love this parlay, though. We've concocted Dorfeyev 3+ shots on goal, Tuck 3+ shots on goal, plus 507. If you are new to DraftKings, use promo code THBN. $5 gets you $150 in bonus bets. So be sure to sign up using that. Full card, though: Malkin point, Zucker point, Tuck 3 shots on goal, Dahlin 3 shots on goal, 4 plays. When I came into this live stream saying we're going to keep it short and not overexpose ourselves tonight, that went out the window. So now we have 4 plays in 1 game tonight. Nothing can go wrong, right?
No, I mean, worst case you split, right?
Well, every one of those is plus money besides Zucker point.
Yeah.
So
I think every play I gave out was plus money. So I'm feeling good, you know.
All right, I like it. Yeah, we will post our full cards. Are you doing another thread tweet with all your plays? All right, so
that's how I'm running it. You know, as always, guys, you can take what you want and ignore what you don't. I don't really care how you do it, but I know it's a lot. But I like to highlight all the good shit that I'm finding, and to me, I think all of them are worth playing. So that's why I do it.
Yep, I like it a lot. I will post our graphic for our parlay. That's, again, Dorfeyev 3 and Tuck 3 plus 507. All right. I think that about wraps it up. Did you have any look-ahead spots for tomorrow? I really haven't gotten into the slate yet, but I don't know if anything jumped out to you.
I think there's some good games tomorrow, at least on the surface. Philly Devils should be pretty good, just given the division, and Philly's playing a little bit better recently. Urson's back. I think he's kind of finally gotten it together. Dallas, Colorado looks like an awesome game. You can get either team at a relatively bettable number at this point right now. So kind of pick your poison there. Obviously, Colorado coming off that blown 3-0 lead against the Oilers, I think should get them pretty riled up for this game against Dallas, but Dallas just lost to Montreal. So I don't know who to take there. CBJ's on the road against the Rangers. I'm going to say I think the Rangers are kind of back.
Okay.
Not fully, but I think that they're a team that you can bet going forward here. I think that over looks great at plus 100 right now, over 6.5. I think that their offense is finally starting to kind of come to life a little bit. Montreal at home against the Leafs. Can they keep it rolling? What do you think? I feel like they've just been winning. I mean, they're only plus 124 at home against the Leafs. When would you ever think that would happen?
Yeah, it's insane. The issue, I mean, again, with just those two teams, I may look at player prompts tomorrow for Montreal's side at home. But again, that money line just scares me a little bit here. Totals at 6, juice the under here, which is, again, another concern that I have. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily a game where I feel passionate enough on either side to kind of back a money line, but
I mean, there's no value on Montreal at plus 124. I feel like that's,
no.
I would want them at like plus 180.
Yeah,
a team Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto's road splits have been worse, right? And Montreal has been better at home again, but I don't know how much that matters necessarily in this one.
Sens games have been low and slow, I feel like, recently. So, yeah, I don't – they're playing Boston too. That's like a game you take under 3.5.
Yeah, but you look at Boston's last 2 games too, right? They played well against Florida, winning 4-3, and then kind of beat Tampa Bay 6-2. So who knows? The head-to-heads against those two teams always seems like it's a low-scoring matchup. So, ooh,
Yeah, Montreal Toronto draw, that could be a good look.
I like that. Yeah, I don't have. I mean, it's overall a great day of sports. Like you have Philly, New Jersey at noon, Boston, Ottawa at 3. Parlays that into the Chiefs Texans game, which then you can go to the Commanders Lions at night. So perfect.
Yeah, that'll be. I think that game's gonna be
Overall,
better
like
than everybody
sports
thinks it's
watching
gonna be,
day.
but we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fun day. I'm not gonna get anything done tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
No, I don't plan on it either. So
I will say, continue fading Utah at home. They're minus 135 against St. Louis tomorrow. That seems wrong. I don't understand that at all, to be honest with you.
So. Yeah. I mean, that was a brutal beat last night for the under in that St. Louis Calgary game. 4-1 heading into the third. I thought it was all locked up.
I actually took the under live. I took the under live on that. I grabbed under 6.5 when it was 2-0. And then the Blues scored like a minute later. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It was 3-0 after the first. I'm like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. So
yeah. Dave, we ran our parlay of the night is going to be Philip Dorofeyev 3+ shots on goal. And then talk 3+ shots on goal as well. So we said besides Dorofeyev, I believe Cap pointed out Aho at 3, which I liked as well. I didn't know if you had any other ones in that one, Franco.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how much juice you want to eat. If you're trying to get like 2 shots. Okay. Let's see. Hold on, give me a second here. If you want to get like a more juice play, I don't know, man. Like that's not necessarily the best game to target. I feel like
not by any means.
I would prefer like if we're looking for like juice plays, like two guys at 2. I wouldn't mind doing like Paterka at 2 and Tuck at 2. I think that's like a nice way to go. You brought up Thompson, might not be a bad look either, or even Dahlin, honestly, straight looks great at 3. So maybe you do like Dahlin and Tuck or something. I would prefer, like, I like Dorofeyev just given his recent form, but if you're trying to put 2 together and you don't want to do Dorofeyev, I would look for 2 in the Pitt Buffalo game personally.
I would agree. I mean, even just the totals kind of tell you the story, right? Vegas, Carolina's at 5.5. Pitt at Buffalo at 6.5. So
now, if you want to do a point prop in that first game, that's more what I would be leaning towards, like a Eichel point or something like that.
Eichel, Thompson, future and present, or past and present.
Yeah.
Sabres, legends. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. I think that's about it for today. We will post our full cards shortly on Twitter. Any other thoughts, Franco?
No. Let's crush tonight. Build a nice bankroll so we can have 1,000 plays tomorrow.
Yeah.
Across the 2 sports.
Best bet of the week for the NFL.
I think, I don't know if it's still available. I took Barkley at over 20.5 rushing attempts. I like that a lot. I don't think it's 21.5 on DK now. I also like Goddard at 33.5, which I don't know if that's available anymore. 37.5 on DK now. So yeah, those numbers got buried, unfortunately. But I think that regardless of if the Eagles cover the spread, and I get it, I get the hate on Hurts and stuff like that. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but I think given the weather, it's supposed to snow, it's supposed to be cold as shit. I don't see Stafford and the Rams doing what they can do typically in their dome environment. So I think there should be plenty of rushing attempts for Barkley. That's really what it comes down to. So,
yeah, I'm looking at the Bills-Ravens game. Russ, yeah, that's bad news here as a Bills fan. Derrick Henry over 19.5 rushing attempts.
Okay.
It's supposed to be brutal in Buffalo. He gashed us last time, and I'm sure the Ravens are going to want to do the same exact thing. It's supposed to be terrible weather conditions.
I remember that. So that game, the Ravens, scored first in it, right? I think
it was the first
goal.
play. It was the first play. I think Henry just ran down the field on us.
Oh, do you know what it was? They punted. Buffalo punted, and they're down on like the 5 or whatever. I took the Bills money line or Bills +2 or something like 2.5 or 3.5 live in that game. And then the next play, I reread that like 90-yard touchdown. I was like, oh, cool, great. That was instant death to that ticket. But
I know.
I'll be rooting for you guys, man. I'll be rooting for you
Thanks.
guys.
I'll root for you as well with the Eagles. So we'll see the overall energy of the show on Monday will be telling.
I honestly feel like there has to be a point in time where the Josh Allen beats Mahomes, right?
I mean, he does it in the regular season all the time. Like, I think he's got a winning record against, not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And again, I think we match up better against Kansas City than I think we do Baltimore.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a good game. So I'm excited. Fun weekend ahead.
Great weekend. All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in on this Friday. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy this glorious, glorious weekend of sports on TV. We will post our parlays shortly. Thank you again to DraftKings. New customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 using promo code THPN. I think that about wraps it up. Have a good weekend, everyone, and we will talk to you guys on Monday.